This is me, and I've been doing this for a long time. I get on one of my Minecraft worlds, plan to play for ages, and find myself just jumping around my base. And then I log off after like 10 minutes. It sucks. And I'm pretty sure I'm not alone in doing this. So if you've ever felt lost in Minecraft, like you're just not sure what to do next, this video is for you. I've come up with a series of things you can add to your world, whether big or small, cute or ugly. This video has everything. And to make it a bit more interesting, every idea I talk about will be a new room in a huge mansion I'll be making throughout this video. I think the best way to start is from the beginning. A nice, simple house. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, just a cozy home in a nice area. We'll be building off of here for the rest of the video. Each room we make will fall into one of 4 categories: utility, aesthetic, gimmick, and accomplishment. Let's start with utility. The first change I think we need to make from our old way of life is sorting out this awful chest system. You may want to create a grand hall with a dedicated double chest to every block in the game, with automatic sorters behind each row and item frames for each chest. But I prefer a small room, nothing crazy, with just a decent amount of chests, each having a theme, like nether blocks, natural blocks, or crafted blocks. It's also fun to reflect what's in the chests by some decoration around them. There we go, our first room all done. We can try and make it look cohesive with our starting house, but I like the chaotic look. We're gonna have to be okay with a little bit of chaos for this video. Next, we'll want an area dedicated to resource gathering. Some people like a staircase down to a mining area, but I've always preferred a simple chute, down to where you need to be. You can bring yourself back up by an easy bubble column, or even an elytra space if you're willing to spend those fireworks. In the area by the entrance, we can create a large smelting space for all the resources we collect. Keeping our furnaces nearby means it's an easy process to start cooking as soon as you're finished mining. This next idea is very ugly, but I've been using it in almost all of my bases for the past few years and it works. With a similar system to our mine, you're going to want to make a bubble elevator close to build height. Here, you'll make another portal. I know it sounds weird, but just stick with me for a second. Drop back down and make another portal. Light this one and go through. Some way, somehow, get on top of the nether roof and build yet another portal at the same X and Y coordinates as the portal below the roof. Go through, and a minimum of around 30 obsidian later, you'll now have an easy way of getting to both the nether and the nether roof. But vaguely good Minecraft extraordinaire. Why on earth would I want that? What the hell? Well, thank you for asking, vaguely good Minecraft extraordinaire. Up here, nothing spawns, which makes it a great place for a whole variety of farms, and some transport we'll get to later. My favourite farm up here is the simple one I designed when the Nether update first came out, which I'm sure is similar to others out there, but basically, near build height over a crimson forest, build a platform of about a chunk for hoglins to spawn. Place these warp mushrooms to scare them down a hole, and then attack them in a centralised spot. It's super easy and a great start to expand from. Make a nice hopper system, or figure out a way to make sure only hoglins can spawn. A great way to start having more things to do in Minecraft is to make your own farms. You don't need the tutorials as much as you think you do. Try it out, see what happens. Now, for the most useful room, a room where you guys can hit like and subscribe, and don't forget to comment and turn on that notification bell so you never miss another. Who was that? Now we've got this lovely monstrosity looming over us at all times, I think we can start to let some guests in. Let's make a nice guest room with a nondescript basement, an open space with quite a few beds and some not at all suspicious trapdoors. The space below the area can be left for later, maybe another storage room or something. Transport some happy new neighbours over and let them get used to their forever home. Use this room with discretion, and remember, villagers don't have feelings. Now we've got some new housemates, it's no fair they get all of these fancy blocks. It's time we make a workbench room. Start by extending our previously constructed chest room. We want to have access to all of these materials for our workbenches. Now, construct a row or square formation of the following blocks: crafting table, stone cutter, smithing table, anvil, cartography table, rhinestone, loom, and brewing stack. Now, we want this room to really pop, so decorate with your most colourful blocks. And there we have it, a beautiful place to get productive. Yay! after that, I think I need a bit of fresh air. In Minecraft, I'm not going outside. Let's take a step out of our lovely home. Something I always forget till I'm way too late into the game is to start a proper farm. Let's carve out a little space here, a large section for farmland. We can put carrots and potatoes here for our guests. Alternating rows makes them grow faster. Next to the crops, let's make a nice barn. One of my favourite things to do here is a lovely Pinterest board building here, and then just underneath have our real farm. I don't like the term battery farm, so I don't use it. Leather is important for books, wool for beds and carpets, eggs for babies, and I usually spare this guy from being in one of my farming machines. It's not that I like him, he's just not useful. Now, surround your cottagecore barn with some sugarcane, and you should have everything you need farming-wise in this nice little space. I think we've done enough foundation for the useful parts of our house. We can start to think about rooms with a bit less purpose. It's time to get aesthetic. Hey! I always liked the idea of an aquarium in my Minecraft build, a nice quiet space to just have a few guys floating around. My favourite real-life aquariums, visually, not ethically, are the ones that are almost like an arch over you, letting you walk through and feel like you're really in the fish's home. A few lanterns and coral blocks alongside your regular sand and fishes makes a really nice space. Naming your fishes and having a way to safely get in and out of your tank makes the area more interactive and fun to show off to people. I've spent too long talking about aquariums, you get the point, they look nice. Now for a focus on the more traditional pets. Your cats and dogs and parrots need somewhere to be, so let's make a pet palace for them. I can't have a section on aesthetic in my Minecraft video and not build a cat cafe. These things were everywhere in the lockdown era of Minecraft, and I'm not afraid to say I still like them. A few cat scratches here and some food bowls there, along with just general cat jungle stuff, makes for a very interesting space that you can dump your pets into to keep them safe. As we all know, my top priority here is safety. A canine resting spot is also a nice idea. Armor replacements and rotten flesh as food will make your dogs good as new in no time. And finally, we've got to have an area with a jukebox for our parrots to dance to. Making all of these rooms accessible to each other and nearby means you not only have a super fun pet space, but your pets can also interact with one another. See, they're best friends. Moving up a level now, it's always fun to create some real life rooms in your Minecraft house.
I'm Steve.
I want a little bakery room here, filled with barrels of bread and cakes and pies and all the ingredients I could ever need for food crafting. Next to that we can have a nice dining room, a cozy table and a few chairs. These plates may look a bit silly, but they work just fine, I swear. After all this time, we still haven't got a dedicated space to sleep in, so a beautiful bedroom right here seems like a good idea. Putting two beds together and a frame around it just makes a really comfy you space. A little zany, but I think melons have a really funky wallpaper kind of texture. Quite a 50s look going on. Finally, a neat rug, desk, and sunrise-facing window can complete our room. I wasn't sure whether to put this next detail in the useful or aesthetic section, but since we've got a few more rooms, I think now is a good time to talk about enchanting. For the sake of the video, I'll make a neat little enchanting room with bookshelves and lanterns and lichen and anything vaguely magical. But I have never made one of these rooms in any of my Minecraft worlds. Here's what I usually do. One central enchanting table, a ring of bookshelves in a 5x5 square around the table with one missing for an entrance, a grindstone here and an anvil there, and optionally a barrel with some lapis in it. That's it. This design looks really nice, it's symmetrical and pretty flat, and can fit almost anywhere. Do you ever feel trapped in your own home? Do you want to? Build a cell you can live your days in. Keep tallies of how long you've been in there. Build yourself a friend. The possibilities are endless. If you would rather not just live in a dingy room like this, you can get a pet zombie to live his afterlife here instead. But I'm sure he's feeling very lonely in there, so we can set up a friend finding system for our guy over here. Maybe just a nice water stream for the friends to come in from the top. They can talk for a little bit, maybe even high five, and once the friend has had enough, they will turn green out of contentment, and we can send them on their way. A little socially drained, we'll give them an energy drink and a snack, and back to normal in just 5 minutes. This one was so thankful for the day out, he's willing to give me diamond armor for just 1 emerald per item. With these aesthetic things you can add to your Minecraft world, I think often it can be best to simply just find some inspiration and go for it. You can find countless accounts all over the internet dedicated to sharing interesting and easy creations for you to build yourself. And with how the world is designed now, after just liking a few posts you'll have an endless stream of content to look at. Start a Pinterest board or file where you download stuff to keep a neat collection of everything that jumps out to you. Soon enough you'll have more things saved than you can actually work through. Just my only advice on this one, avoid the AI generated stuff, nobody finds this useful. Another super aesthetic and cutesy thing to do is decorate some of our pre-existing builds. We've got this huge obelisk reaching to the sky looming over our build, so why not give it a cool spiral of glass to make it a little more bearable to look at. Reaching down to the mining area we made just a few minutes ago, we can decorate this underground section with cobblestone and logs to give the impression of a well-used mine shaft. Miners work best if they really feel like they're in a mine, you know? To round off the aesthetic section for the video, I think I'll just put a bow on it. Now our house looks amazing and coquet, we can move on to some more gimmicky rooms. If you're playing on a multiplayer server, I find one of the hardest things to do is bring everyone together in a central place and keep them there. So if we dedicate a section of our house to a community area, hopefully we can get that Minecraft momentum going. With Minecraft YouTube's biggest trend of last year, it only feels right to make a parkour course for people to have a go at. No plagiarism here, but having different tiers where as you go up the course gets more and more challenging is a fun way to get people to keep trying. Each time they fail, if they don't fall just right, they're going straight back to square one. Or more block one here, but you get the point. The next gimmick borders on being useful, but as soon as you have elytra, this becomes much more recreational than practical. Minecarts connecting the various locations throughout your world is a really fun way to get yourself to and from different places. I'll build a central place here in the mansion where many different tracks will branch off of, to a nearby ocean, the closest tiger forest, a village. We'll repopulate later. Anywhere close enough that you won't spend more iron than you can handle on rails is a great contender to be a destination in your railway system. On the other dimension, for the more far away locations, we can build portals on our nether roof to travel there 8 times faster. Once you get to this point in the game, I'll assume you have elytra, so don't bother with the railway system again. In this situation, I'd recommend carpet. Connect each portal in color coordinated straight lines, and you can just follow the path as you're flying along. Hopefully you'll remember where you're going from the color of the path. Some fun minigames are also a great idea to have around your world. A really easy one to set up is an elytra course. You genuinely just need to make a single high up platform and then a bunch of rings around your world. I'm just going to pop a few around the house we've been making so far, but you could extend this to make a course which reaches across all of your friends' bases. Or, alternatively, completely surround the base of someone you don't like. It's a win-win. Why not also make a shooting range? The target block already exists, but as you get further away you might want some larger rings to catch the stray arrows. If you build a couple targets, it easily becomes a fun competition between you and a few friends, if you can hold off on shooting each other. Ice tracks and boats are the Minecraft equivalent of go-karting. Each ice type gets more slippery the more compact the block is, meaning you can control how uncontrollable you want certain parts of a track to be. Some mods make it possible to go up 1 block inclines in boats, which is really useful if you want to make some more dynamic circuits. On the less active side of things, you can make spaces dedicated to art and creativity. 2 equally sized platforms separated by a wall of sand makes a really simple build battle stadium. On a smaller scale, rooms dedicated to writing and making stories could be really fun. Around your builds you can create a story or some kind of lore describing how your world came to be. Whether it's an elaborate odyssey of gods and mortals or a convoluted political system, Minecraft's the perfect place for it. Our final room for the gimmick section of this video is a bit of a bunker. Literally. Protected by 3 layers of obsidian, an AFK bunker is a great thing to throw together by any automatic farms you might have. If you're playing with friends, a simple water system like this should help you stay online, but don't break any rules and get banned on larger servers. If you can't literally AFK in your bunker, having a few fidget toys in there is a nice way to waste time. A mini cactus farm will constantly produce a small amount of cacti for you to watch explode. Same with an automatic sugarcane or bamboo farm. A bit more uselessly, you can set up a little water flow staircase and have a dispenser at the top which you can activate from outside. Now you can endlessly watch items flow down this contraption. You can also capture a few chickens and keep them in these very humane 2-block gaps, where as they randomly move between the 2 blocks, they'll be endlessly turning these redstone lamps on and off. With all of that time wasting out of the way, I think it's best we move to our next section. One thing I rarely see people do in Minecraft is actually appreciate all of the time and hard work they put into their world. A room I find really worthwhile to make is one just dedicated to the important items you've come across throughout your world. Here's a section dedicated to the firsts of this world. The first diamond pickaxe you crafted, the first elytra you wore, your first netherite ingot. Anything you think worth preserving as a memory can go in here. Even a chest for the smaller stuff, like the first set of wooden tools you made at the very start of your world. Our initial room, the house we grew from, it's made of some of the very first blocks mined in your world, so treat it well. Another room I'm very fond of is the map room. At regular-ish intervals in your world, take a few map copies at your base, and over time you'll be able to see the world grow around you. You can lock these maps in a cartography table with some glass panes to make sure the images on them don't change, and hang them around for all to see. A room or build like this really helps you get to grips with your immediate area, and you can plan how you want to expand out. Through pure vanity, our next set of rooms will be the most expensive, and possibly most time consuming. Rooms built entirely from complete blocks of ore. Redstone and lapis are easy enough to make, iron and gold are definitely doable, diamond is where the time really sets in, and I'm not even gonna go in there. You can also diversify into some of the newer materials, like copper and amethyst, but nothing can beat the ugly atmosphere of those original rooms. Setting goals like these are quite unique, a straightforward task that we all know could be very time consuming, and doesn't give the prettiest results, but would bring along a huge sense of satisfaction. Moving away from our house, and travelling all the way to the end, my final achievement room is this entire island we find ourselves on. A huge project you can invest a lot of time into, incorporating all aspects of this video together, is an end island transformation. Create a theme, or don't, and make a whole new world in this alien place. A small representation of all the chaos from the overworld. Some of my favourite end renovations involve dragon skeletons and purple buildings. I love the theming of the end, so want to keep that essence throughout. And, after a while, and a bit of hard work, you'll find yourself in an amazing landscape, which you can truly call your own. Now, looking back at this mansion we've built throughout the video, each room holding a whole new adventure for you to go on, I hope you have loads of ideas to build in your Minecraft world. Whether that's exact copies of some of the rooms I've made, or whole new concepts from the words I've said. Let's just make sure our time isn't spent jumping around again. Oh? A new home for sale? Yeah, I'll come check it out.